When I first saw New York City from my airplane window, my heart was pumping so hard and my hands were so sweaty, kind of like right now. I mean, I grew up with Sex in the City, the movie, okay? And there I was, the full of dreams young lady pursuing then in the Big Apple. Everything was so new to me. The language was a huge one. I thought I was prepared when I came here, but the books weren't even close to what it is to engage in real conversations with real people in real time. Like, I think I burned like 2,000 calories with my brain just at the airport trying to figure out where to get my suitcase. There is so many meanings and referrals, like cultural reference that you have to memorize when you're really trying to immerse into a new language, into a new culture. Like, I seriously gonna need somebody here to explain me tonight how is I am up for it and I am down for it, the exact same thing. I mean, the truth is that I was changing. And not only because of the beginning of my immigrant journey, but because changing is natural, is constant, and is inevitable. We're always changing. Our relationships change, our faces, our bodies change, our knowledge change. And the thing is, like, sometimes these changes happen so fast that we don't take the time to process them and to actually go from our old life to our new life. Because as kids, as children, we're told that changing means growing, yes. But as adults, they're two very different things. Growing is a personal decision. Growing is what we decide to do inside with the changes from outside. To me, growing was pushing hard in the difficult days. Even when I feel alone, I keep trying hard to immerse and to adapt into my new culture, into my new country, into the country that I pick for myself, for my future kids, for my future family. And you'll be thinking until this point, how sweet. But what does that have to do with gratitude, right? Well, as you probably hear many, many times before, every change that happens in our life is just a little opportunity to grow. And we hear that many times because it's true. But again, it's not the same. Changing is not growing, it's just a chance to do it. And what we don't hear as much as we need to is the how to go from A to B. So, as you probably guessed by this point, the key word here is gratitude. Only when we're able to see those changes in our life from a gratitude perspective, then no matter how terrible or how great they seem for us, then we're able to go from A, looking at ourselves one day in the mirror and thinking, whoa, who's that? And what happened to me? To B, knowing that we are who we are today, thanks to every little change that happened in our life. That every mistake, every failure, every win, every strength, every weaknesses is just one little piece more in the big puzzle of our life. That we are just the result of everything that happened to us. And only when we're able to see that, then we can say that we're grateful. And once I hear from a very wise person that if you're grateful, you're not fearful. And I thought, wow, that's so not true, because even when I'm very grateful, I'm still very fearful. But I discovered lately that being brave is just taking action even when you're full of fears. So that's exactly what I did after the pandemic. I took a leap of faith and I decided to go back to school at almost 30 years old. Now it's time to pursue my passion for psychology here in the US, right here in MDC. And I calmed my fears by thinking, it's okay, Michelle, this is gonna be just like in the movies, just like Legally Blonde. As I mentioned before, I grew up watching a lot of American movies, but it was more like the 40-year-old virgin. I felt a little out of place. However, I felt crazy in love with my classes and with the study of human behavior. It was just fascinating. So there I was, once again, changing. But this time, I learned something that I did not know before, a concept that is just incredible. and that is neuroplasticity. The capacity of our brain to actually rewire to function in a complete new way. So when we're grateful, we're making new connections in our brain, we're molding it, we're growing our brain to have like this whole new perspective. It's like seeing the world from a whole new lens. So that's what gratitude gives us. Gratitude is that magical thing that can give us a completely new perspective. Suddenly we're just like, we're able to reframe things, to be more appreciative. And I like that because I like control. And I don't like to think that life is just this random cycle of things that happen to me without my control. But what about if I take all those changes in my life and I decide to be grateful for them, so then I can grow. And when I grow, then something inevitable is gonna change again. But this time, I feel like it was my choice. Like it was my decision, and like I'm in control of my life. So that's the cycle of life that I want to live. And not only because of my control issues, but because I don't want to be who I was yesterday anyway. I don't want to be who I was 5 or 10 years ago. I don't want to go back to be that just the dreamer girl that was doing nothing to become who she wanted to become. I want you and me and everyone here to be able to be a better us in the future. Like yesterday, I was not talking to all of you. I wasn't seeing your pretty faces. And now, tonight, something is changing again. Something is changing here and here in my heart. And now tonight is also a new piece in my story, a story of change, gratitude, and growth. Thank you very much.